today we're going to be looking at the Arabian mate. So last week we looked at smothered mate, and this was a puzzle you were supposed to solve. If you haven't already, pause the video right now and try and solve it. But nonetheless, the answer is knight to b6 checkmate. The knight, only being able to move in an L shape, can't capture the knight on b6. The bishop, being able to move a diagonal, also can't capture the knight. And the queen is blocked by the bishop. So the king is in check, can't move anywhere because of the queen on b8, the bishop on b7, and the knight on a7. So this is the checkmate. Now let's see what an Arabian mate is. So Arabian mate is when the knight and the rook team up when the king is in the corner to checkmate the king. The knight takes control of the two squares that are on the sides of the king, including the square the rook is on, while the rook controls the square diagonal of the king. This definition can be confusing, so come back to this after seeing the example. So here's the example. The rook moves to g8. The king can't move to h7 or g8, the sides, because the knight is controlling both of those squares. Well, and as well as that, the king can't move to g7 because the rook is controlling that square. The king is in check thanks to the rook, so this is checkmate. Now, let's see if you can figure out how to apply Arabian mate to a position. This position is also white to play. It looks very bad for white because the black is threatening checkmate on h1 with the queen, but this is white's chance to make a comeback. You have 30 seconds starting now. Time is up. The correct move in this position is rook into a7 checkmate. The king, checkmated, can't move to a7 or b8 because the knight on c6 is controlling both those squares. And the king can't move to b7 because the rook is controlling that square. The king is also in check thanks to the rook on a7, so the king is in checkmate. As well as that, nothing can capture the rook, so it's game over for black. Let's move on to the next puzzle, which is black to play, and you have to play an Arabian mate. You have 30 seconds, and you can always pause the video if you need more time, but your 30 seconds starts now. Time is up. The correct move is rook into a2 checkmate. So this is checkmate because nothing can capture the rook, which is checking the king. The king can't move to b2 because the rook on a2 is controlling that square. And the king can't move to b1 or capture the a2 rook because the knight is defending the rook and controlling b1. So nothing can capture the rook. The king can't move anywhere. The king's in check. You can't block it since this is a direct check. There's no squares between the check and the king, so this is checkmate. Your turn. You have to find out a way for white to make a comeback because black is completely crushing it. So there's one move that saves white from all his troubles, and your job is to find that move. You have until next week when I post my next video. So this is white to play, and you have to solve this position. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any feedback, you can post it in the comments or in the form in the description of all videos. The form is completely anonymous, so I won't know who filled it out. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this one because it takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos. You can visit Chess Playlist to see all the chess videos. I hope you enjoyed and thank you. Goodbye.